used to get together in person and I would play that song every Sunday. Yeah, in good old days. So for me, like that's one of those tracks, pretty much anything by Trevor Hall really, but that one in particular, because of practice and repetition and devotion to it, when I play it, it drops me into that place, right? It kind of takes me almost all the way to Holy Country. And it's really important, I think, to have those kind of things in your life, to have those kind of touchstones that when you hear them or see them or smell them or touch them, they can transport you to an energy field, right? A space, a mental space, an emotional space, an energetic space that's conducive to what you want to do, right? So hopefully you're surrounded by those kinds of things. Obviously a familiar teacher or teachings or practice is important, it's part of it, but also the music that you play, the sacred herbs or bushes that you burn, the clothing even, the ornaments and literally the touchstones, the crystals, right? So hopefully that's part of your practice. And if it isn't, or if it is and there's space, then maybe you keep developing these types of things to get you there, to support your journey home, to hold you there once you get there. So yeah, take a minute or so maybe to do those things. Make sure you have everything that you need. Yeah, and that includes music. I'm not going to play any. I might have a little bit in the background for Cecily. She likes it. But if you guys want to have your own playlist going, do that. Make sure you have all your touchstones, all the props that you might need. Yeah, and also while we're talking, maybe setting your camera up a little bit differently, some of you, so I can see you in your practice. Right, that's kind of the point of being on these video calls. And you don't have to have your camera going. And of course, you can just show me your feet if you want to. But if you really want some instruction and some personalized guidance, then make sure I can see you. Cecily's going to join us in a minute. You'll be able to see her if you need to. Eventually, maybe already, maybe today for the first time, you might be able to ignore the screen and follow my familiar instructions. Most of you have been practicing with me for years, I'm not going to say anything new. The instruction in and out is going to be the same. So maybe you don't need the visual anymore, right? Maybe you could be even so bold as to turn the screen away so you can't see it at all. Or maybe just close your eyes. You might even do that now. We'll take a few more minutes to do whatever you need to do to get grounded, physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically grounded. So here now. For me, being grounded is about being really present. Physical sensation, emotional waves, thought patterns, that's all part of what's happening in any given moment. Yeah. So just bring awareness to them and recognize what's here now. And then if the intention is to transcend some of this stuff a little bit, maybe it's as simple as falling back behind it. Right? Turning to the one who notices, turning to the one who is observing, turning to the one who is feeling or listening. Yeah? And that's usually behind the storm a little bit, or the tumult, or the waves. So there's a bit of settling that is involved. So feel the solidity of your connection to what's underneath you, to the earth that's through the floor, maybe floors. And if you are in a space that is maybe a few floors away from the earth, highly recommend spending more time down in the dirt. Right, so maybe once you're done, once you get up out of Shavasana, you just go barefoot for a walk out in the earth. But for now, grounded, so down through your seat, whatever support you need, always. So gathering your props, your blocks, your supports, your cushions, your books maybe you're using, whatever you're improvising with these days. So grounded, connected. And then from that connection, because of that connection, right, hear that, not just from it, but because you're so connected and your roots are so deep, we're able to maybe lift a little bit higher. So we get a little bit longer up through that central channel. The spine, the Sushumna Nadi. Notice if you've exaggerated any of these curves, like you've flared the front ribs open, or maybe you've collapsed the chest forward. And see if you can get to as natural a curve up through your spine as you can. So that probably involves drawing your front ribs in a little bit. And probably focusing on the back body a little bit more. Upper back lifts, back of the head lifts. Then the chest rises. Take a moment to broaden the shoulders. So shoulders get broad and the hands are in a supportive place. On the knees, the thighs are in the lap. Okay. Grounded, lifted, energized, balanced in all those efforts. As we make these efforts, we ensure that there isn't stress or tension or straining or striving. So relax it a little bit. Release the jaw and furrow the brow. Stop talking a little bit. Maybe not completely, but maybe cut the conversation in half. So relax the brain and furrow the brow, release the jaw. Maybe even the wrists and the palms melt a little bit. Keeping the effort. So effort without tension, but all this relaxation without dullness, without falling asleep. So again, finding that balance. You're setting these patterns, encouraging these patterns, practicing these patterns until these patterns become positive habits. Right? Frameworks for you to pour yourself into and relax into that familiarity, that ease. You might even call that home. And once you've done all this, and it's an effort that we keep going through our whole practice, all of those things we come back to again and again and again to support it, to explore it, to open it, to free it, to strengthen it, whatever your angle is, we turn to the breathing. And these first few, or these next few breaths, just let them be free and what they need to be, what they are already. So without too much pressure on them. Just inhale and exhale a little more mindfully, with a little more awareness. And maybe resist the technique as it wants to creep in. Let it be free for another round or two. Hear what you hear, feel what you feel. Keep working to fall back behind it a little bit into that observer, the one who notices, the one who's watching and feeling. Right? It's back behind it a bit. And that one has always been there. It's that constant, consistent awareness you've had, they say, since before your birth. And then we're adding the technique in. So we insist upon the breath moving in and out through the nose. We breathe through the nose. We want the breath to be deep, deeper, be deepest possible. So use the abdomen. Get right down to the bottom of the breath and encourage it from there. As you inhale, abdomen presses out. And as you exhale, unless you're pregnant, abdomen moves towards the spine. So get that going. To encourage the diaphragm to draw down as you inhale. And then to dome up as you exhale, abdomen towards the spine, the diaphragm contracts and lifts. Maybe allow this to be a wave for now. The inhale mixes into the exhale, and the exhale smoothly waves into the inhale. This expansion and contraction, this rising, this falling, let that be all there is, maybe, if you can. And as you refine this focus, this connection, this awareness of breath, really start to tune into the lung environment. As you fill up, just be there. Notice the expansion, the opening, the stretching, the lifting, the filling up. And as you exhale, again, the same kind of awareness. Abdomen in, diaphragm up, lungs empty completely. There you go. And as we get this focused, that focused on the breathing, and as we expand that awareness back to the whole body, use the breath for that. As you inhale, imagine the lungs filling, but then take the breath down through the limbs, the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes, every corner, every joint, every muscle getting touched. And as you exhale, giving it all back, watching that tide recede as you pour it back into the ocean. And as you develop and practice, work with this full body awareness at as many levels and layers as you can manage, this type of present moment embodied breath focus maybe helps us to drop everything else. Anything outside of this sphere that you're now centered in, balanced in, maybe falls away. The past drops back behind you. The future dissolves because it doesn't exist yet. Any stories about what is get quieter and quieter and quieter. Beautiful. And then what's left? The residue or the echoes of those things, the future, the past, the stories. Right? They've left an impression on you. Notice them now. The recurring thought patterns, the emotional habits, the physical sensations. A big part of our work is on those impressions. So pull ourselves up out of them a little bit, fill them back in so we don't fall into them again. And to do this, we just keep focusing on movement, on breath, drishti, bandha, mantra, deity, whatever it is, to stay here, to stay now, to do the work. Keep breathing. If you're inclined at this point, you might bring your hands together. As you do that, make sure those roots are still deep and we're still long and lifted. Draw the thumbs to the center of the chest, the energetic heart, lift there, and drop the chin. You've just encountered your work. It's somewhere in all that stuff you just went through. Or maybe it's all of it. Right? Or maybe it's what you didn't let in, have dismissed, or put up walls or barriers to. Whatever it is, it's here, and you need to turn to it. Honor it, see it, feel it. Commit to whatever the work is, the healing, the strengthening, the releasing, the understanding, the transcending. And take whatever that is, and whatever you recognize the work to be, and maybe set it as intention. And as always, the invitation is to turn to the God of your own understanding and frame it as prayer. All that to say we want to be here on purpose, with purpose. Consider aiming higher. You've got support. You've done a lot of the work. Right? We're so close. We're always so close. Aim as high as you can. Commit to going to your deepest depths to get there. And also I appreciate you showing up to support my journey home, Cecily's journey home, right? Your journey home, and not just those of us in the gallery, but all beings everywhere. Beautiful. We'll take all that, we'll wrap it up, we'll send it out with the sound of 3 ohms. Join us, let it wash over you if you prefer. Right? Feel those vibrations. Ride those waves. Exhale completely right here. Go all the way to empty. We'll take a unified breath together, a full breath in. We pause, and a complete breath out. To empty, to pause again. If you're inclined, when you're ready, join us. 3 ohms. Inhale. Wake of those vibrations, keep the pranayama practice that you've already begun going, those deep, full, mindful breaths. Right? You might release the hands and thighs eventually. A few more moments here to refine the breath even further, ensure that we're regulating the breath at the back of the throat. The breath is long and smooth and thin. And then maybe add the pauses in. Go all the way to the top. Pause there, and as you exhale, go all the way to the bottom. As you pour the breath out, spiral inwards and down, touch the bottom, pause there. Your deepest, fullest rhythm. Right? That's what's going to guide you more than my cueing, more than what Cecily's doing behind me. That rhythm, your deep rhythm, is what's going to be guiding you. Take a couple more breaths here. I want to clue you into, I got a few requests last week and inquiries around working with shoulder and wrist injuries and what do you do if you can't bear weight. Well, one of the things you might do is take the sun salutations right out, right? Skip the down dogs, right? So we're going to do that today. If you love downward facing dog like I do, you're welcome to get into one right now and work with it for a couple minutes because we won't be coming back. Okay? Otherwise, we're going to continue standing. So whatever you need to do to get from your seat to your feet, and that might be a down dog, it might be a child's pose, it might be the cat-cow work, right? A squat, a standing forward fold. You might want to spend a couple minutes in a headstand. By all means, do that. And if you're ready, right, pop to your feet. Right? Be the first one there. No, Bogey beat you to it. Bogey's the first one. Okay, and then whatever dance you need to do, the walking, the swinging, the swaying, right? And if you don't need to dance, then just get still. Feet planted, they might be apart. I like bringing them together, right? You get to choose. Wherever they are, right? They're planted, so the weight is equal. All the corners of the feet, the heels, the toe mounds, the arches are lifted, the toes are spread, right? Again, the roots, we sink them deep, deeper, deepest. There you go. And then from those feet, we work up through the legs. The legs get strong, the pelvis is level. The waist lifts, the rib cage lifts, the spine still lengthening straight up. Shoulders are broad, hands beside you. Maybe even stretching the arms here. You can reach the fingertips for the floor, right? With the palms towards the thighs. Stretch the fingers for the floor. Stretch the arms with the shoulders broad and the rib cage lifted, right? And then soften the arms and do that again, right? Bring some energy into the arms. Releasing the jaw, lift the back of the head. Tadasana place, Samastitihi, mountain pose equals standing. We'll come back again and again and again. And whenever you need to, right? Your practice. Exhale completely here. We'll take one more unified breath in this place. A full breath in. And a full breath out. We'll get you to turn this. We're just going to start real simple. Right? Next inhale, we're simply going to lift the arms up. Keep the head down. At the top, we lace the fingers together. We turn the palms. We press up. Stretch the arms again. And as you exhale, float the arms back down. Long breath, slow movement. There you go. Your breath. A couple more times just like that. Inhale, arms lift, head stays down. Strong legs, lift the ribs, lace the fingers, turn the palms, press and stretch. And as you exhale, float. Long breath, slow movement. Your breath, your movement. Land the hands, empty the lungs that much more. Wait for the inhale. Right? You might still be waiting, otherwise when you're ready, inhale, lift the arms. Lace and press and stretch here. Arms straighter, spine longer. Drop the head, and as you exhale, keep those efforts. The lift, the straight arms, and release. Hinge at the shoulders all the way back down. We're going to lift up at least one more time. Inhale, lift again. This time, the option would be to stay. If you want to keep floating the arms up and down, you can do that. So you can release the arms as you exhale. Otherwise, stay here. Redo the feet. Turn the legs up even higher. Lift the ribs, lengthen the spines. Lifting the shoulders, stretch the arms. Next, inhale to stretch even higher. Press through the palms. And then nice and easy as you exhale. Next exhale, release your arms all the way back down. Beautiful. Slide the hands to the front of the thighs this time. Right? Head stays down, front ribs stay in. As you inhale, float the arms forward. Keep the head down, palms forward, reach up. Maybe take the arms back. Try to keep the tail plugged and stretch. And as you exhale, wave the arms back down again. Perfect. Do that twice more. Just you and your breath. Inhale, keeping the head down, the front ribs gathered, the tail plugs, legs strong. Lift straight up, stretch, and then maybe stretch the arms back a little bit. And then as you exhale, release them forward and down. Beautiful. Do that one more time. You and your breath. Everything else falls away. Inhale. Exhale. And then slide the hands back to the side body. We'll get right into those shoulder rotations, the shoulder medicine. Most of you know this. Inhale, float the arms up again. Keep the head down. Lace and press and stretch. And as you exhale, it's to arch a little, to soften, to drop the hands, to sweep the arms forward. Shoulder height, palms up, outer edge of the hands together, head down, empty. Inhale to the side and up. Lift, lace, press, go to straight, full, and as you exhale, release the arms forward. Shoulder height, palms down, and then sweep open. Explore that range, take the arms back a bit more, and then the inhale to return. Forward, and then up, lace and stretch. And as you exhale, release the arm. Twice more. Follow your breath. Inhale to lift. Long breath, slow movement. Stretch here. Be here at full. Make it sing. And as you exhale, just let it all go and sweep the arms forward. Arching a little and then upright again. Chin in. Arms straight. Be here empty. Inhale. Side and up. Lift, lace, press. Exhale forward. Shoulder height and sweep. And then bring it on back. Your breath, inhale forward, up, lace, press, stretch. And as you exhale, float, releasing all the way back down. One more time, your breath, your practice, you go. Just land it empty. Take a couple breaths here. Ryan Lear was talking about this the other day, and maybe we could bring it into our practice here. He was talking about the hands and the energy in the hands. He likes to encourage, his teachers like to encourage us to bring our fingers together and create almost a little space, a little cup in the palms. He talked about almost that Reiki type hand. And some of you have been actually did that training with me, the Reiki training. There's a lot of energy in the palms, right? A lot of receiving, a lot of giving off. If you can tune into that and focus it, right? We become a lot more intentional as opposed to these slayed or these, you know what I mean? We get really focused and intentional. He was telling stories about how yogis can apparently suck water up through their palms and their feet as well, right? Same kind of energy in your feet. Right? Maybe that's the next sort of element to your practice. So as we move through these hatha vinyasas, maybe bring some awareness to that. We've got a couple more to do here. Exhale completely where you are, all the way to empty. Inhale, lift the arms again. Right? With that energy in the hand, at the top, lace, turn the palms and press, bring the head to neutral. And as you exhale, we're tipping over to the right. Right? Just touching it for a moment. Inhale, back up to center, lift, lift, lift. And as you exhale, we're tipping the other way to the left. The right shoulder stays back. Inhale, come back up, lift, lift, lift. And again, go over to the right. Exhale. This time stay. Stay for 2 breaths. And inhale to find some lift, some length, left shoulder back. Exhale, maybe a little bit deeper. Arms straight. There you go. One more breath here. Exhale. When you're ready, your inhale brings you back to center. The legs are strong, the waist is still lifted, lift up. And as you exhale, you tip over to the left. Right shoulder stays back. 2 breaths here. Inhale to lengthen. Yeah, whatever modifications you need to make for your shoulders, for your neck. Exhale completely. 1 more here. Arms straight if they're lifted. All the way empty. And the inhale brings you back up. Lift, lift, lift. And as you exhale, release the arms back down. Perfect. The next one is a twist, a standing twist. Options for the arms. So the arms can lift to shoulder height. Seth will show us the other option. If it's available to you, turn around, Seth. The arms can come in behind you, and you might just grab opposite elbows, but maybe if it's available, like Seth, you get into that reverse prayer, right? And that little secret prayer behind you. If that's available, go for it. If not, grab the elbows. Otherwise, inhale, lift the arms shoulder height. Lift, lift, lift. And then as you exhale, we're turning to the right. So turn to the right. And we're going to stay for a few breaths. Inhale, keep lifting. Keep the right big toe mound planted. Press that back down. And as you exhale, turn more still. If that left arm or left shoulder crept forward, take the left arm, the left shoulder back. And then use an integrated shoulder girdle. Use the right shoulder blade to turn you even deeper. Yeah? Inhale to lift. Left arm back. Exhale to twist. Right? 1 more breath here. Length and lift. Exhale, ringing a little bit deeper. And then use the inhale to come on back to center. And we'll go straight to the other side. As you exhale, we're turning to the left. Yeah, if you need to relieve your arms for a moment, do that and then come back. Right, left big toe mound stays planted. I know it lifted. Press it back down. Legs are still strong. Waist is lifted. Energy in the waist. Exhale to turn. Take the right arm back. It crept forward. Take that right arm, the right shoulder blade back. Right, and then use the left shoulder blade as you exhale to turn you deeper still. Exhale completely. 1 more breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the arms. And then maybe wipe that out a little bit. Inhale, arms lift. Head stays down, lace and press and stretch. Evenly, side body, spine, arms straight up. And then as you exhale, release the arms back down. Perfect. From here, we're going to go into Ardha Uttanasana or half forward fold. And I know we said we weren't going to do down dog, but this shape, this angle that you make with your body in this is the same shape as down dog, right? So a lot of the same efforts, a lot of the same energy. If you need to use the wall, right, in your home where you are, maybe you come to the wall and push the wall away from you if you can't float, right? And the hands can come to a couple blocks or a table if you prefer. Yeah. Exhale completely here, go all the way to empty. Feet planted, legs strong, keep it that way. Inhale, lift the waist, lift the ribs, lift the arms, lace and press and stretch. And as you exhale, you're gonna fold halfway. The legs stay strong, straight and strong, and we're sending the seat back, right? The upper thigh bone's back. You can see that in Cecily's legs, that her legs are angled back. Her spine and arms are parallel to the floor. She could probably lift her arms up a little bit. This is where you could use the wall and push the wall away from you. Otherwise, there's a whole lot of effort here. Strong legs, long spine, palms pressing out, drop the head a little bit, bogey straighten your arms, right? There you go. Everyone pretend your name is Bogey and straighten your arms. There you go. How about 1 more breath here? Exhale completely, right? A full breath in, make it sing. Strong legs, long spine. Keep all that as you exhale, go to empty. And as you inhale, nice and smooth, all the way back up. There you go. And as you exhale, release the arms. All right, we're not quite done with that. So if you struggled there, really, I encourage you to use a wall, use a table, because we're going to come back, and you can come back to just what we did, or we're going to get into some arm movements as well. Exhale completely here, go all the way to empty. Inhale, float the arms up. Lift, lace, press, and stretch. And as you exhale, keep all that effort and just tip forward into Ardha Uttanasana or half forward fold. You can stay here or inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, we're going to sweep the arms back beside us, hands towards our hips. There you go, still the same height as the spine, and then inhale, bring the arms back. Lace and press and stretch, and then just do that twice more. Exhale, sweep the arms back to the side body, hands towards the hips. And then inhale, lifting the arms again overhead. Lace and press and stretch. Do that one more time. Exhale, sweeping the arms back beside you. And then inhale, coming forward. Lace and press and stretch. Exhale here, be patient. Inhale to come all the way back up. Exhale to release the arms. Skipping the drama, right? We're all in it together. Right? We all feel it. Just take a breath. Respond to sensation or impulse with breath. Respond with breath. Create that space around all this stuff. Feel it, hear it, let it land. Let it teach you, learn from it, and then keep applying what you're learning. Exhale completely here. We'll keep going down into the legs. Feet together will help for this. All the way empty. Inhale again, lift the arms. Lift, lace, press, and stretch. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and sit down. Right? And you might not go far. That's cool, right? Any arm variations really, right? Maybe you stay with this, and maybe you go deeper. Right? Maybe you go right down seat to heels. That's fine. You can go there right away. Maybe you just go a little bit more. And once you find that place, when you start to sort of encounter your depth, there might be some movement. Maybe you swing the knees or rock back and forth. We certainly want to lift the navel and the heart again. And if the arms are extended, straighten them. Take the biceps back a little bit. Exhale, sit a little bit deeper. Maybe. Inhale smoothly all the way back up. As you fill up, straighten the legs, press the palms, stretch, and then we're going to sit back down, and by we I mean you. Exhaling, sitting as deep as you're going to go, keeping the heart lifted, the arms strong. Inhale again, straighten and lift up, stretching, be here, be full, and as you exhale, sit one more time, all the way into that chair, and then stay, 2 breaths, lift the heart, straighten the arms if they're extended. Exhale completely, one more breath, all the way to full, knees squeezing, all the way to empty. And then as you inhale, you straighten, you lengthen, you lift. And as you exhale, you release the arms. Perfect. One more simple vinyasa in this series. It's going to challenge your balance. So by all means, come off your mat. Be near a wall if you need it. Definitely fix your gaze out in front of you on something that's not moving. Exhale completely here. Inhale, lift the arms. Lift, lace, press, and stretch. And as you exhale, lift the heels. Lift your heels up. Right? There you go. As you inhale, lift everything. Heels, knees, ribs, arms. And as you exhale, float all that back down. The arms and the heels release, landing to the floor and to the side of the legs at the same time. Perfect. This time together. As you inhale, lift the heels and the arms same time. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, lace and press and stretch. And as you exhale, releasing. Heels and arms together within the exhale. Perfect. Knowing that these are like pancakes, the first couple usually suck. Maybe we figured it out by now. Yeah, you got the temperature right. Inhale, lifting everything up, lace and press and stretch. And as you exhale, release all the way back down. Nice smooth breath. Nice controlled release of the body. We're going to lift one more time. This time stay. Inhale. Lift the heels and the arms. Lace and press and stretch. And as you exhale, stay. Right? Plug the tail in. Front ribs gathered. Inhale to maybe lift even higher. Really stretching here. How high can you get? Right? Exhale, stay. Take a couple more breaths. You got it. Right? Soften the jaw and furrow the brow. Exhale completely. One more inhale. Inhale, lift even higher. Then nice and smooth, nice and calm, release all the way back down. As though it was no big deal, just land. Just land. Respond with breath. And if something else comes up, respond to that with breath as well. Right? It's a practice of self-control. Control the reactions and responses to the sensations, to the impulses, to the thoughts. Grounded, centered, steady. And if you're still itchy, of course, scratch it. Right? But always on purpose, with purpose. It's not a fidget. It's just what's necessary in that moment. Top of your mat. Right? We're going to get into some folding. Right? And then we'll do some walking around a little bit. Yeah? So top of the mat. Exhale completely. Go all the way to empty. This time as you inhale and lift the arms, we'll lift the gaze as well. So lift the chest, lift the chin, lift the gaze, palms together, be there. And as you exhale, dive forward, folding. Right, all the way up and down, bend the knees as much as you need, only if you need. Hands down, head down, lungs empty. Inhale to look forward. So lengthen the spine forward, straighten the legs. That might bring the hands to the shins. And as you exhale, you fold again. Right, the legs can stay straight and strong, or bend them if you need. The inhale all the way to the top. Strong legs, long spine, reach out, circle the arms overhead as you look up. And as you exhale, release the arms. Stand tall. Twice more just like that. Inhale, lift, reach, look. Exhale, dive forward. Strength and length will help you get deeper. Soften as much as you need. Hands land, head drops. Inhale to look forward, lengthen forward. Pausing at full. As you exhale, fold again, going to empty. And as you inhale, you rise. So your breath, you move within it, all the way up. Exhale, stand tall, release. Okay, we're going to speed that up a little bit. So hopefully the lower back is warm, you're tuned in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. All the way to empty. We're going to skip that half fold from empty. Inhale all the way back up. Inhale, heart forward, arms out, reach up. And then we're going to dive straight forward again as you exhale, tipping forward all the way out and down, exhaling completely. Inhale all the way to the top. Strong legs, spine forward, reach out, circle up. Now mindful of the lower back, the neck. And then diving again as you exhale. We'll do this twice more, all the way out and down. There you go. From empty, there's a pause. You wait for the inhale and you engage. You press down to lengthen, to lift, to reach, to look. And one more time, we dive forward. Yeah, strong and long, unless you need to release the knees and the spine a little bit. One more time to the top like that. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, stand tall this time. Release the arms, the chin, the breath. Go to empty. Just one breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then we'll go for a bit of a warrior walk. Inhale, reach up. Look up, stretch up. As you exhale, dive forward, fold. And you go all the way to empty. From here, we're going to step the left foot back. Turn the left heel in so that foot's at an angle. Lunge into the right leg. We're squaring the hips, just marking this shape this first time. As you inhale, we stand up. Still in that lunge, right? Outer edge, right foot, left foot, sorry, pressing left leg strong, tail plug, front ribs in. Whatever arm variations, the hands can stay on the hips, together at the heart, or maybe they reach up. Yeah? Exhale completely here. Inhale into that full pose, really stretch. And as you exhale, release the hands down. Step the left foot forward, the right foot back, and take the same kind of time here with this first visit. Feet planted, get into that lunge, right foot set, right leg set, standing up, lifting up in a balanced way, tail plug, front ribs in, reaching, maybe looking up. There you go. Right, wave your awareness one more time through this shape. Use the breath. Exhale completely. Right? Inhale, full pose, really stretch. And then one breath for this vinyasa. As you exhale, hands down. Step right foot forward, left foot back. And as you inhale, lifting, reaching, looking up into that warrior one. And as you exhale, hands down again. Left foot forward, right foot back. We're just going for a walk. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Exhale all the way back. Plant the hands, step forward, step back. If this is too much, you can skip around, inhale to the top, or just stay in the shape. Exhale, releasing. Step forward, step back. Yeah, going with your breath. Wait for your inhale. Ride it all the way to the top. Be there. And it's your exhale that releases you, guides you forward, and then back again, left foot. Lunging, inhale, reach up, look up, stretch up, and as you exhale, break it all the way back down. We'll do a few more of these. Step forward, step back, inhale, right? Your rhythm. There you go. And then exhale, switching. Again, wait for the inhale to lift you, to lengthen. And the exhale to guide you back down to the earth. Step forward, step back. There you go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Next time the right foot is forward, the left foot is back, so maybe right now, stay up into that warrior one shape. We'll call it 5 breaths. Yeah? So feet planted, take the first breath to make sure that all the elements are awake and present. Tail plugged, front ribs, lift, lift, lift. Right? All the way to empty every time. Right? I don't even need to look to tell you that you could probably straighten that back leg a bit more, straighten the arms a bit more, bring a bit more lift and energy into the spine. Exhaling completely. One more full breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. One more inhale. Make it sing. Inhale all the way to the top. Now as you exhale, we're going to draw the thumbs to the chest. Right? And lift that back heel. So come up onto the left toe mounds, right? And then we're going to tip forward a little bit. So start to shift the weight into that right foot. Consider lifting the left leg. Eventually you do, right? Lift the left, tipping forward even more. Spine and left leg eventually parallel to the floor. Maybe you're just working with that right ankle. Once you get that dance, right, going, you can get into the right leg a bit more and make sure it's strong and engaged and supportive. And then, yeah, beautiful, Seth. Work to drop the left hip and then lift the left heel even higher and extend through that left leg. Lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Any arm variations. Reach back, reach out, reach forward. Yeah, one more breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Now listen carefully. We're going to soften the right knee. Bend the left leg and swing it through and up to standing. Falling is great. Thank you for modeling that, Seth. Right? Coming to upright. And just catch it here for a moment. Feet planted, legs strong, knee high. Right? And then nice and smooth, nice and calm, we're going back to that Virabhadrasana 3, that airplane pose. Tipping forward, extending the leg. Just one breath here, full expression, full breath in. Complete breath out. And now as you inhale, we're going to drop this left foot to meet the right at the top of the mat. And just let it all go. Next exhale, just to fold over the legs, hang out for a moment. If you need to move or swing, do that. Perfect. Exhale completely, folding. Inhale, maybe lengthen forward just this one time. Strong legs, long spine. Exhale, fold again. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot back, right? The other side. Right heel in, outer edge right foot pressing, lunge into left leg. And as you inhale, you stand up. Right? And take the time to organize it. Right? And maybe it's that left leg that needs more attention. Maybe it's the hips. Maybe it's the spine. Maybe it's the rib cage. Maybe it's your focus, your breath, your drishti. Right? Check in with all the elements and then set it. You got a few more breaths here to move into that full expression. Ribs lift, spine lengthens, maybe the arms lift, the gaze might lift. Yeah. Exhaling completely. Moving towards that full expression. One more full round of breath here. Warrior one. Full breath in. Complete breath out. One more inhale. Make it sing. Inhale. All the limbs energized. And as you exhale, draw the thumbs to center the chest. Lift that back heel. Find your drishti. Tip forward. Work with the balance. Lifting eventually. Honoring what's going on for you this morning. Right? It might just be you and that left ankle dancing. Be a good dance partner. Left leg eventually strong. Dropping right hip, lifting right heel. Keep the heart lifted, lift it more maybe. Any arm variations. Reaching back, reaching forward, reaching out. Swinging them wildly around. There you go. There, full expression. Make it sing. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then as smooth as possible, as you inhale, soften both knees. Swing that right knee through and up to standing on one leg. Be there. You can hold the knee for a moment if you need. Right? Mark this place. And then we're going back. As you inhale, tip forward. Extend that right leg behind you. Get back into that shape. Right? One breath here. Full breath in. Squeeze. Complete breath out. And then use an inhale, nice and easy. Soften both knees. Land that right foot beside the left. As you exhale, just let it all go. Beautiful. Exhale completely here. And then in your way, whatever you need to do to come up to standing, right? You can roll up, you can reach out and up, right? Whatever is going to get you back to that Tadasana place, that mountain pose, that equal standing. Land here. Breathe here. Okay. Back to that same present moment focus, commitment that we started in. Start with the breath, as though there was nothing else. And expand that awareness to every corner of the body, up and down the spine, down the limbs, into the palms, awareness of the energy of the palms, into the energy in the soles of the feet. As though there was that suction, that relationship, that energetic give and take between your feet and the earth. There. Beautiful. From where you are, we're going to take a big step to open the legs up nice and wide, face the side, and then right away turn the left toes in slightly and the right toes out. Perfect. Set the feet. Commit to keeping the spine upright, so straight up and down. Notice what happens to the spine as you lunge into the right leg. Did it get pulled out over the right thigh? Just try and bring it back to center. Right? So lean back a little bit, plug the tail, draw the front ribs in. If you need to back off the lunge, do that. Working to open up that right hip a little bit. Right? Drop that crease a bit deeper, keep the hips level. And as you go into this right leg, making sure that the outer edge of the left foot is connected and that left leg is strong. Yeah? And I want you on your own just to pulse in and out of this in your way. You can add the arms and straighten the legs and reach up and then lunge deeper and release the arms shoulder height, whatever this little inquiry, this organic journey deeper into these shapes, right? Whatever it needs to look like for you. Right? And then when you find a depth that makes sense, just sit in it. Right? Feet planted, left leg even stronger. Right? Left leg even stronger. Right knee out to the right, maybe a little bit, tail plugged, front ribs in, lengthen. And the arms straight. If you lift them to shoulder height, if that suits you, straighten the arms. Straighter, straighter, straighter. Right? Yeah, you don't have to look at the screen. I'm not doing it. Sessa's arms aren't straight either. Right? Look at your arms, that inner elbow especially, and see if you can open that up a little bit. There you go. Pull your right knee to the right, maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Imagine your name's Paul, and take your right knee to the right a little bit. Perfect. Yeah, exhaling a little bit deeper maybe. Right? Knowing that this is a hip opener, so we're spreading wide across the front of the pelvis. Right hip lifting up, left seat wrapping under. Beautiful. All right. How about one more breath here? Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then as you inhale, we're going to straighten the right leg. Right? Get straight in the right leg. You don't release the arms for a moment if you like. We're going to shorten the stance. Maybe the left foot comes in just a little. Yeah? Feet planted, pointed in the directions they just were. Legs straight and strong. Lift the arms again, looking out over the right fingers. As you inhale, lengthen out along that right leg. Right? Keep the right leg straight and strong. And at your edge, we're just tipping to the right. Right hand lands, knee or shin or ankle. Maybe the left hand starts on the hip. That might be a great way for you to find balance again. Push the hips forward and lean back a little bit. Lift the chest. And then start to really use that top shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade. Turn it into the body a little to turn the chest towards the ceiling. Feet planted, legs strong, spine long, lean back. And then with all that, as you use that top shoulder blade, maybe you reach up. Maybe you look up. Right? Whatever this inquiry needs to look like. You can keep the gaze down, the hand on the hip. You can come in and out a few times. Or maybe you really go for it. Right? If you want to turn the heat up, by all means, you can extend that right arm straight out parallel to the floor, and even the left arm to match it if you want to work a little bit harder. I know some of you do. There you go. Nice, Michelle. Breathe here. Yeah, exactly. Try it. You can always come back. A couple more breaths here. Right. One more full deep breath. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Looking down, grounded as you inhale, come all the way back up. You can release the arms as you switch the feet. Right? Switch the feet, lengthen the stance if you shortened it, because we're going to lunge back into that left leg. Right? And I want to say we're not going to stay very long, but obviously you are going to stay for a while. We did the other side. That doesn't mean that you can't go deep. Right? Cecily was telling me the other day, we were watching the video back, and she said, you should tell me to take my thigh deeper and go deeper in the pose. So I'm going to do that now. Seth can go a little bit deeper. There you go. Right? And it's work. That's the idea. Left hip stays lifted. Right hip wraps under. Right seat. Yeah. Amazing. Right leg is strong. Outer edge right foot pressing. Right? Find your depth. Add the spine and the arms in. Right? And then if you want to pulse in and out a little bit, do that. You don't have to. You can go right deep into the shape and stay. Or maybe you play with the feedback a little bit. You respond with breath, sometimes movements the way through. Again, to find your way back into that shape, right to your depth. And depending on the length of your breath, know that we've got about 3 or 4 or 5 breaths here. So setting that shape, going that much deeper if you can. Beautiful. Yeah, perfect, Seth. Right seat wraps under a little bit more. Aha. And play with all those relationships. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Release the jaw. Bring that energy back to the feet and to the palms. Right? Fingers together. A little bit of space in the palms for that. You might even feel, right, almost a cool breeze in your palms. That's what I get when I really bring my awareness there. Do the same with your feet. Sink a little bit deeper, maybe. One more breath here, right? Full pose, a little bit deeper. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then as you inhale, straightening the left leg, releasing the arms, maybe to heel toe that back foot in a little. Feet planted, both legs straight and strong. Get the arms back. Looking out over the left fingers as you inhale, lengthen and reach. And you can play in and out of this a few times when you're ready. The left hand releases the knee or the shin or the ankle, right? There's no one that I wouldn't encourage to take their right hand to their hip, right? You don't have to. Right? If the way is clear, you go. But maybe you take the hand to the hip to lean back a little, right? Hips forward, chest back, lift the chest, roll both shoulders, especially that top shoulder. Use the shoulder blade to turn the chest, then maybe you reach up. And if you wanted to burn a bit brighter, a bit more, you can always float that left arm parallel to the floor. Take the right arm to meet it. Right? You can play with floating this triangle a bit, right? And remember, this was an option, right? Don't blame this on me. It's your choice here. A couple more breaths if you can manage. Right? Otherwise, back off a little bit, but stay in it. Exhaling completely. One more breath here. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Looking down, grounded. As you inhale nice and strong, all the way back up. Releasing the arms, soften that left knee, and when you're ready, step that right foot to meet the left again, top of the mat, and just land here. Skip it, whatever it was. Take a breath. Right? Be exclusive to the breath for a moment. Just respond with breath. Leave your shirt, your hair, your shape, just leave it alone. Just breathe. Breathe again. Breathe more. Maybe we want to consider retreating from these poses with the same kind of awareness and equanimity that we approach them with. Right? The pose continues until the waves is settled and the heart rate is returned and the breath is, right? The pose is still happening. So keep that going. And then when you're ready, we're going to take another big step with the right foot and face the side one more time. Nice wide stance. Yeah? Having any blocks or props out in front of you that you might need for the fold. Toes in a little bit. Legs are strong. Hands to the hips. I'd encourage you to play with a back bend here as much or for as long as you like in any way, any arm variations. Lengthen and lift the front body. And then use that length. Keep that length when you're ready. Lift it again and tip forward. Right? Using the strength of the legs, the length of the front body to find some depth here. Find the floor with the hands. If you can't reach the floor, again, your blocks or your improvised props or your coffee table, right? Whatever you need to ensure that the feet are still planted, still awake. The legs are strong, straight and strong. Right? You too, Bogey, straight, strong legs. Straighter, stronger. And play with tipping the weight back and forth. Right? Don't take my word for it. Tip the seat way back and then bring it way forward. Just sort of tick-tock back to that balance. If you planted, legs strong, and if the way is clear, you go. If you want to stay in the half forward fold, stay in that. If you really miss the down dog, you can walk your hands forward here and take a nice wide-legged version of it. Right? Why not? We've got a few more breaths here. Right? Make them count. Full breaths in. Complete breaths out. And do that a couple more times. Energy into the legs. Know that I can see it from here. Wake them up. Yeah, Rosalie, a little bit more energy in the legs. Yeah. Beautiful. Maybe one more breath here. Shifting the weight forward again, maybe Jody. Yeah. Beautiful. Exhale completely. We're going to go from this forward fold, inhale to a halfway lift, and then use a breath or two to heel toe, walk the feet in so we can squat straight down. Perfect. So we squat straight down, whatever this process is for you. Hands on the floor. If the heels are lifted, maybe keep the hands on the floor for support. If the heels land and the knees can close out, great. If the knees won't close out, then sit on a block or two or a few books. Yeah? And once you get all that, if it's steady, maybe the palms come together and the thumbs to the chest and the elbows to the inner knees to spread them wider, to stretch the hips, the inner thighs. Breathe, breathe, breathe here. All of this work to find a place that's really grounded, really supported. We're going to stay here for a breath or two, but then we're going to turn this into a bit of a twist. Yeah? So you can skip it. If the twisting here doesn't serve you, you can do any twist that you need. But maybe we stay in this squat. We release the hands back to the floor, arms inside the legs. And we're going to take this left hand and sweep it out to the left, inside the knee, fingertips tent ahead of the left toes. Take the right hand to grab the inner right knee, elbow bends and points up. Inhale, lift the chest and use the arm and the hand to keep the knees spread. lift even higher. And as you exhale, keeping all of that, we're going to work to turn the abdomen, the ribs, use that shoulder blade to turn the chest all to the right. And keep breathing like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to turn. Maybe 3 more of those here. If you have the bind, you would turn the left palm up, bend the left arm around that left leg, reach the right arm behind you, catch the right wrist with the left hand. If that sounds or looks like nonsense, it maybe is. Just skip it and keep the hand on the floor, the right hand to the knee. At least 1 more breath here, a full breath in. Complete breath out, twisting a little bit deeper maybe. And then use an inhale to release and come back to center. It might just be a little bit of movement here that you need. If you need to straighten and fold a little, do that. Otherwise, when you're ready, come back to the squat and we'll just go the other way, right? We sweep the right arm out to the right, fingertips tented ahead of the right toes. Left hand to left knee, right? Elbow points back and up. Use the arm and the hand to spread and use the inhale to lift and the exhale to turn. Start with the abdomen, the ribs, and use that left shoulder. Maybe take your neck out of it. You can look down or you can keep the chin in line with the sternum, right? And if you want to reach the left arm up and look up, go for it. And if the bind's there, you turn the right palm up, bend the arm back behind you, left hand behind you, catch the left wrist with the right hand. Right? And if that's not there, just let it go. We'll try again next week. Inhale, lift. Or tomorrow in your own practice that you do every day, right? Inhale to lift. Exhale to turn. A couple more breaths here. Use them. And again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. And then inhale. Releasing, coming back to center. And then as gracefully as possible, we're just going to sit straight down. Take the hands behind you, extend the legs out wide just for a few moments, and maybe give your legs a bit of a rock. You can pedal the feet a little bit to work with the hips. Maybe swing the shoulders, going from hand to hand a little. Whatever you need to mindfully do to land. Maybe, this is one of my favorite parts of my practice, opening the legs back up and getting that rush of fluid, of prana down through the limbs, to the soles of the feet. Maybe they can tingle a little bit. Beautiful. You stay with that as long as you like. Otherwise, before we stretch, we're going to maybe catch the back of the knees to bend them. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, right? Bringing the heels as close to the inner groin as you can get it. Holding the feet maybe for a moment to just walk the seat out a little behind you. You can sit up on low blocks or blankets, right? Great place to give your feet a bit of a massage or a rub if you need it. And then maybe from here, it's just a bit of a bounce, right? The knees might bounce up and down. Yeah. I was told that if I ever wanted to get my feet behind my head, what I needed to do was this for 10 minutes a day. I did it for a while. It worked. I got my feet behind my head. It wasn't that interesting. But if you're inclined, you can play with that too. Maybe the bouncing settles. And you might just stay right here. If the effort is simply to keep the waist long and lifted and shoulders broad and there's some stuff in the knees here for you, then you can stay like this. Maybe though you start to pull yourself forward, and that might mean that you take the elbows to the inner knees and use that to press them down. Keep lengthening forward still, trying to get out ahead of the toes maybe. And as you get deep enough, the elbows might slip in front of the shins towards the floor as you lengthen forward and deeper still. At a certain point, you do curl in and bring the forehead into the soles of the feet. Maybe you rested on a block. Or maybe you're still upright. Right? One of my dearest teachers, Richard Freeman, used to say that the stiff are blessed because they don't have as far to go to practice. Because we know this isn't about auditioning for Cirque du Soleil. That's not what we need out of this. We just need to encounter ourselves and the things that we're holding. And if you do that and you're still upright, then good. You don't have to tie yourself in knots or put your feet behind your head to do the work. Wherever you are, turn back to the breath and take 2 or 3 more here. Full deep breath. Okay. When you're ready, you can stay here as long as you need, especially if you're in this fold and want to stay longer. When you're ready, you return back up to center. You can lengthen and lift or just roll up. Release the hands maybe to the outer knees and bring the knees together for a moment. It might do to squeeze here a little. Just rock back and forth. Because we're going to go from this shape back to those wide legs. So again, we're going to spread the legs wide. Okay? And whatever this process needs to look like for you, maybe you roll the inner thighs towards the floor to roll the seat out behind you a little. Right? You can even take the hands behind you to kind of rock forward on the seat. I like to catch the top of my toes to lift the heels and lengthen the back of the legs a little bit from side to side. All right. And if what you need is the hands behind you to stay upright, then do that. Right? Otherwise, maybe you can maintain all that and bring the hands in front of you. We're going to turn this place into a twist. So if you need to stay upright, all you're going to do is keep the right hand behind you, left hand in front of you, and turn to the right. If you can get both arms in front of you and stay upright, you're going to walk the hands forward a little bit. Turn the left palm up, right? And then sweep that left arm out inside the left leg towards the left foot. So the outer elbow comes to the inner knee. Maybe you catch the big toe mound. If you can't reach, there's a strap option if you have one. Otherwise, just let the left hand land on the floor. Take the right hand and catch the left ribs. So reach across the front of the body. Hold the left ribs, the left side body, and use that grab to pull the ribs forward and through. Right? You can play with that. Or slide the hand across the front of the body to the right ribs and use the hand there to turn the ribs towards the ceiling. Starting to really use that right shoulder. You can keep the hand like that, or maybe reach up. You can look down or forward or up. And maybe if you're deep enough, you let that right arm fall across the side of the head towards that left foot. Right? If you reach it, great. If you don't, maybe bend the elbow and catch the back of the head with the right hand. Right? There's a lot in there for you to play with. So find your shape. Let it be alive. Let it change. Let it grow. Let it evolve. Use the breath. Use the inhale to find some length. Exhale a little bit deeper. Right? How about one more breath this side? A full breath in. Complete breath out. If you have that right arm up or overhead, maybe reach it for the ceiling to pull you out of this. Inhaling, lift up and out. Any little movement you need to do here. A little bit of wiggle, a little bit of bounce the legs, right? And you can just switch sides if the hands are in front and behind, or start to lengthen forward again. Same process. Turn the right palm up. Sweep the right arm out to the right. Right? Elbow to inner knee. Maybe you catch the big toe mound. Maybe the hand lands on the floor. Use the left hand on the right ribs to pull them through. And do that a few times. Let it go. Find some length and some lift. And then really pull on the ribs with the left hand. Maybe slide that hand across the front of the body to the left ribs. Keep encouraging the torso to turn. Use the left shoulder. Hand can stay there, or you can reach it up. Right? And if the way is clear, you go. Right? If you are auditioning for Cirque du Soleil, I mean, by all means, right? Do your binds, do your twists, do your turns, do your variations. Right? Just make sure the breath is there. Because we're not at the circus. Right? We're deep in our bodies. We're listening, we're feeling. Going deeper, we're getting higher. Healing, revealing, strengthening, integrating, releasing. How about one more breath here? Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then maybe it's that left arm that pulls you up out of it, all the way back up. Yeah, again, whatever little movement you need. It might be time to catch the back of the knees, bend the legs, bring the feet and the knees together again in front of you. Give yourself one more squeeze right here. Take a moment. Take a breath. Feel the heart. And then when you're ready, real simple, we're just going to swing back to forward on our mats, feet to the top of the mat. Take your feet a little bit further away from us. Find that sweet spot. Lean back, lift up a little, catch the back of the thighs. We'll play a little bit here. And you can stay like this. This might be good for you. Maybe you float the feet and stay here. Maybe release the hands. Maybe the feet lift, hands release. Or maybe you straighten the legs out a little bit. Reach the arms. Whatever it looks like. Yeah, Cecily has her hands behind her. Right? That's a great way to work with the lift of the chest and a bit of support. Right? So hands flat behind you, fingers pointing forward, and elbows bent back a little bit. And we'll stay a couple more breaths, finding lift. And then the discipline, the devotion, the dedication to stay. Right? One more breath here, full expression for you. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And then use an inhale to get low and long. Right? And maybe you need to go all the way to the floor. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can hover here. Maybe you want to play with lifting up and down a few times. You can even imagine you're in a boat and row it. Our teacher Ramdas, this is his favorite song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Right? If you're not singing it yet, maybe it's now in your head. Yeah? Maybe not. Maybe you hover. Or maybe you landed just watching us do silly shit. Otherwise, when you're ready, just let it all go. Little Shavasana preview. And if you're ready for the main attraction, you stay. Otherwise, we should be perfectly primed for a back bend. And I'd encourage you to engage in whatever back bend practice you're in. If you want to come up on your knees or on your belly, you can play with different variations, different versions of the back bends. Otherwise, maybe it's just time to plant the feet on the floor. Right? And you've all heard me, and if not me, many teachers take you through this stuff. Just go, right? Plant the feet, gather the shoulders, lift the hips. If you're going all the way up, plant the hands, Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose. Yeah. Otherwise, the shoulders stay down, the hips lift up. And most of you know that I like to take a block and wedge it under my sacrum, not the spine, not the discs, but under the sacrum to support the hips. And I try and stay here for minutes. Right? You can still be challenging, you can still be at your edge, but with that support. Beautiful. You're breathing. This could be a few back bends. You can lower down, lift back up, or maybe you stay. Right? If you're up, if you feel planted and supported, and you can breathe, and stay. Right? A lot of knees are drifting wide. Maybe you bring them in a bit tighter. Right? Knees tracking straight away from you. There you go. Yeah, Jody, a little bit more knees towards each. Yeah, play with that. And if these back bends are really accessible, maybe the feet come together, the knees actually come together. This will take the back bend right into the tail. Right? You'll feel that compression. So honor that, but by all means, challenge the edges a little bit. There you go. Yes, Christine, perfect. Breathe. How about 5 more breaths? Plenty of time to come back in, or come out, or come in again, or stay. Commit to these 4 or 5 more breaths here. And really starting to take this on yourself, right? Any variations, but if you're not done, when I start to tell you to come out, and stay. And stay. Baron Baptiste likes to say that the pose doesn't begin until you want to come out, so you've got to stay beyond that. Responsibly, obviously, with breath. But maybe stay. Another 2 or 3 breaths. You can always come back in. Beautiful. At least one more breath here. Again, maybe stay a bit longer. When you're ready, nice and smooth, we retreat again with equanimity, the same way we approached it. So we roll out smoothly, we slide the feet just a little bit further, a little bit wider, so the knees can drop and touch each other. The waves, the echo, the wake of your efforts, still there. Be there as it settles. And then whatever you need to do to work through whatever is still there, you can wipe the knees from side to side maybe. Maybe you hug the knees in or drop the knees away from each other. I want to give you a couple choices for one last pose. It can of course be the inversion, legs up the wall, or shoulder stand, or head stand. It might be a twist from here. And of course you can go straight to Shavasana, but maybe you draw the knees in towards the chest, rock back and forth a few times until you're sitting upright. You extend your legs, and it might just be right into this fold. So as you manage to roll up, you extend your legs, and just keep going with the upper body and drape it over the legs and fold forward. And whatever little setup you need, if you need more shifting, more setup, do that. Otherwise, maybe you just drape yourself straight forward over the legs and fold. And then knowing that we're going to be here for, at least 10 breaths. Don't put too much pressure on these first moments. Just meet the shape. Take a breath or two. Almost as though you're approaching an untamed or wild beast. Yeah? The back body, the hamstrings, the fight or flight reflex in the lower back and the glutes. Right? So we want to approach it calmly, right? With equanimity. We want every message from our being to be singing that you're here, it's now. There's nothing but compassion and kindness motivating your efforts. Wait for the invitation. Ask for the invitation to go a little bit deeper. And then when the space opens up, you don't have to hesitate. You go, you take that next step. At least 5 more breaths here. And if you went through your shoulder stand cycle, make sure you counter it with a chest and throat opener, fish pose or cobra pose. If you twisted one way, twist the other. If there's something else that you need that you came for that I didn't offer, maybe now's your chance. And then with the same kind of awareness and mindfulness that I really appreciate you engaging in throughout the practice, with that same mindfulness, you shift from where you are into Shavasana. Right? As the crow flies, the quickest, most direct route. But whatever you need to do along the way. Layer on, layer off. Supports underneath you, blanket over top of you, lights down. Right. You can do this final relaxation with your legs up the wall if you prefer. And if you want to sit in meditation, by all means, just remember that this last little bit here, this practice of pratyahara or sense withdrawal, is your opportunity to really integrate. To really step into that space that you open and occupy it fully. Just with your presence, no effort. Feet are wide, arms are wide, toes fall out, palms turn up, and we release all effort. The joints, the ankles, the knees, the hips, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. Let the joints melt, all the muscles in between soften. Arms, the legs are relaxed. Same with the spine. Let gravity take the spine. Let it be heavy right up to the skull, the head. Sink a little bit deeper. The eyes deeper into the head. Even the brain relaxes. Jaw melts. All effort release. Even the breath. Let the breath go. And relax. Completely relax. wash over you. Just take it in stride. And if you would like to stay longer in Shavasana, please do. As I said earlier, at any point you want to pop up and just walk outside and get your feet in the earth. That might be the medicine you need. When you're ready to come back to breath first. Deepen the next breath and then another. And movement, fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Stretch the legs, stretch the arms overhead, maybe a nice long morning stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And let go. Roll into the side, maybe the right, curling for a moment here. And when the time's right, push down to come all the way up. Find a seat, a few more moments here. Notice maybe the habit of coming out of Shavasana and allowing the past to be prominent or the future to appear, and just see if you can instead focus on what's here, what's now. Same simple technique. Down through your feet into the earth, up through your spine, energized straight up into the heavens. At ease, calm, cool, collected, connected. Deep. A deep, easy breath. By now, hopefully the spaces are clear and the breath just can't help but be deep. Let the past fall away again and the future disappear. Stories get quiet. Conversations stop. Quiet, still space deep within you. Encounter yourself, the one who sees, observes, is always there. And through that doorway, we encounter all beings everywhere. And that's the trip. Appreciate your company on it. Maybe the hands come together, the thumbs to the heart. Simple moment of gratitude. Understanding how blessed we are to have this opportunity together in the safety of our homes to engage in this work. It is such a blessing. I'm not sure any of us really realize how lucky we are. Me, as always, I'm grateful for you and your efforts. They guide me home. I appreciate Cecily's presence and her practice and make my job easy. So until next time, thank you. Beautiful. Thanks, friends. As I said, feel free to sign off and float out into your day. As always, if you want to give us a wave, hello, we'll hang out for a couple minutes. I'll send you guys this recording. Cecily teaches Wednesday at 5. Check that out. I'll be back next week. Right? If you have anything, any feedback, any questions, any opinions about a yoga practice without a downward facing dog, right? Let me know how that went. There you go. Yeah, Bogey's into it.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, nice to see you, Michelle. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Leslie.
You're welcome, Bruce. I'm glad you made it, buddy. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet everyone.
Yeah.
Bye, Allie.